Let's do a little bit quickly, Guillem, on Atletico Madrid, because we kind of talked about them a couple of times already, and whether or not we're in the midst of Diego Simeone's long goodbye. This would have felt even more pertinent had they lost to Rayo Vallecano, which it looked like they were going to do after 80 minutes. They would have gone down to 14th in the league. Julien Alvarez scored twice late on, so completed his hat-trick. They won 3-2. They're still 8th. They're 9 points behind Real Madrid. So are we still in Simeone's long goodbye, or what?
He'll leave whenever he wants to. That's the first thing to say. But it's the first time as well that we're hearing people within the club, like the chairman, Miguel Angel Gil, saying it's not enough just to finish third. It's an obligation, and we should aim for more. Because they've spent so much money, and the idea, of course, with a new stadium is to play better football, to get titles, and that's not happening. But you're absolutely right. Minute 77, after 6 points out of 15, it was Atlético Madrid 1, Rayo Vallecano 2. And you start, Real Madrid fans were salivating because, of course, it's the Madrid derby next. But just generally, those that think that Atlético Madrid should go to a new era were thinking, right, okay, this is it. And yet, Julien Alvarez, who has been upset because he's been in and out of the side, he had injury problems as well, had come back into the side for this game and scores a hat-trick. He wants to finish the games. He wants to score hat-tricks all the time. But if he doesn't at Atletico Madrid, if he's not respected, I tell you who's waiting to see if they have the money. Barcelona will approach him at some point and say, are you happy there? But meanwhile, Simeone is saying, we have to look after him. He's got to be with us forever. But he added the line, we look after him, he looks after us, suggesting that if he's not playing every game, it's for a reason. Perhaps his body doesn't allow him to do so. But what a player they've got in him. They've got good players. Hanko as well, the new centre-back. Llorente is playing the best football of his life. Koke is in a good form. But generally, this is a team that I think is only like 3 victories in 15 away. That is still not hitting all cylinders. But you beat Rayo and you beat Real Madrid. Not only you get closer in the table to the top, but the story will be different.
Last 5 minutes of the EuroLeagues then. I think if it wasn't for the fact that Benfica were about to go to Chelsea in the Champions League, we probably would have done a solid 15 minutes on Jose Mourinho going back there. So we're going to do a bit now just to kind of set it up. And then obviously there'll be a lot more discussion after that game. So in case you've missed it, Mourinho was at Benfica 25 years ago. He is back as manager, having left Fenerbahce at the end of August. He's 2 games in. So he started with a 3-0 win at AFS, and then his first home game back was a really kind of drab 1-1 draw against Rio Ave, after which he said the referee had no personality, which some might say is a good thing, but he definitely meant it as a bad thing. This is what he said when he walked in the door. I made a mistake going to Fenerbahce. It wasn't my cultural level. It wasn't my football level. It wasn't my level. I gave everything until the last day, but coaching Benfica is returning to my level. My level is coaching one of the biggest clubs in the world. I have loved the Jose Mourinho story over the years, Jules, but even as someone who used to be a big fan of him, he sounds a bit delusional now, doesn't he?
I don't know. I like what he said. I like that dig at Fenerbahce, who, to be fair, were quite critical of him once they sacked him too. I love that he's back where he all started 25 years ago, because Benfica, not for long, to be honest.
Yes.
But still was the first time he was the proper manager. He said also that he always thought he would go back to Portugal, but as the national team head coach, which I think we all thought that would be possible, or that would happen, etc. But for him to come back at Benfica like this with a good squad, a talented squad, a young squad too, is very interesting. And let's see how they do. For him to start the Champions League campaign, although it's the game week 2, but still for him it's the first game away at Chelsea. It's just whoever wrote that script that nobody knew about 3 weeks ago was just incredible. That will be the biggest point of next week. It will be very special. You would expect an incredible reception from Stamford Bridge. It has to be, because it was not perfect for Mourinho at Chelsea, but it was still pretty good over the 2 stints. And it's just brilliant, I think. So I just can't wait for the ride, for how long it lasts, for how good it is, for how up and down it will, because inevitably it will be. It will be quite fascinating to follow, I think.
His words are deflection, manipulation, self-preservation, calculated, and he knows it, obviously, by blaming the referee. Okay, he shields the players from criticism from a result like this, and builds very quickly an us versus them kind of mentality, adds pressure to the referees, reinforces his own brand as headline making person. You already quoted him, and it serves as an excuse for now and for the future. But we've seen all that before, haven't we?
It feels a bit like when he went into Tottenham and talked about the new pillows. And he was like, I slept here last night on the world's greatest pillows. What else did he say in his press conference? I'm more altruistic. This is in Benfica, not Spurs. Less egocentric. I think more about the others. I'm last in line. I'm here to serve. Look, I think, Guillem, Jules is right, that it's box office and it's going to be great fun, but it can be great fun and at the same time look at him and thinking, are you just finding ways to say, no, now I'm back. No, now I'm back.
It's his methodology. Others dedicate more time to focus on the team or analysis, whatever. It's part of what he does. It's his methodology. And my educated guess is that he will have a full season. Who knows, maybe even a second full season. But at some point in his contract, he will go halfway through a season because that has got financial rewards and allows him to, especially if it's a bad ending, to blame others. It's just done now. I don't think he adds that much to football apart from 5 minutes at the end of the EuroLeagues.
The Football Daily Podcast on BBC Sounds.